All right, in this video I'm going to break down and show you now a lapel series from the top side control. So we're going to have different options, but this is the first one that I look for. This is very common. It's very high percentage. I've hit this probably about 20-25 times in competition, all the time in training if I get to this position. It's my number one that I look for here because it's the most common situation that I fall into. So we're going to go through it one time real quick and then we're going to break it down. Okay, so now we're in side control. We're putting a lot of pressure on his chin, okay? I'm trying to break him, do as much as I can. I want to make his chin obviously the most uncomfortable thing on his body. To obviously take away that pressure, Dennis has always been taught, oh, I put my hand on the inside of your throat and I should frame to create that pressure. But because obviously we're going to be a step ahead, that's what we wanted. So now we're going to obviously base something that we're going to do off of that positioning. So we're inside side control. I'm underneath. I'm nice and tight. Remember, the more I smash, the more Dennis wants to give me that response with his elbow, which is fine. So I want to make sure that I stay tight here. I don't want to look into his forearm because it's going to be very uncomfortable in my throat. So I'm always looking away anyway. So the more I can get Dennis to look away, the easier it's going to be. Now, he's framed here. So I'm going to take the inside lapel, the same lapel on the side of my head on his body. I'm going to pull it out. And I want to make sure I pull it on an angle towards his feet. This is going to get the most slack as possible. Let's turn real quick so you can see. His lapel's already out because we did it once, but he's here. Look, I grab the lapel. I try to obviously grab it in as much material as possible, and I wind it up. I don't just grab here. I don't grab here. I'm grabbing the lapel, winding it up, and I'm going to get a nice, strong grip here. I'm going to snap it towards his feet. That gets out all the slack. Now, I'm going to pull this towards my face, and it's going to come up and over. I'm going to feed it to my opposite hand. This is a strong position here. Now, the hand is completely caught. I made sure this was super tight. We're going to get into some different options later just in case something happens. But now that I have this grip, I'm going to pull Dennis up onto my thigh here. Now you can see his arm is stuck. Everything's nice and tight. Dennis can't go anywhere. What I want to do now is take my free hand that I originally grabbed the lapel with, and we'll grab the inside knee. Now, there's a very important detail here. I don't just smash his knees down here like this because he still has control. His top leg is going to be able to move around. His bottom leg can move. What I want to do is I want to create something that's very uncomfortable. So I pull the knee towards me first, and then I push it to the ground. When his knee is in front of his other knee, now his legs don't have the ability to move as much, okay? That bottom leg now can go out that way, but he's not going to be able to create as much danger. I created this pressure on his hips. It's very uncomfortable. So I shift my way towards his head to make my leg very light. So I shift, I lift my leg up. I can be here all day. I swing my leg up and over. Now, depending on how flexible you are, you can put your leg in multiple positions. But because of where I'm in, if I'm only get it to here, I can kind of just heel toe all the way. Whenever I touch my hand with my leg, I know that's how far I need to be. I take my hand off the lapel, I grab my own shin. If I can bring my leg up and over the first time by his neck, that's fine. I just want to grab. Now, when I grab my shin, you can see that Dennis's head is flat here. And when I put my shin here and I grab, I roll my arm to make Dennis's head come up. If you can see, I try to bring his chin to his chest. This is incredibly uncomfortable. Now, I'm going to roll over my shoulder in this direction. But what I want to make sure that I do is this leg that's underneath of his head, I'm going to put the foot in the hip. It's very important. Let's show a different angle so you can see this roll. So we were inside, I stapled, I came inside here. Now pause. This leg is going to go into the hip as I roll over. Now I'm not going to show the roll with that, but I want you to see where my foot's going to go, right inside here, okay? It's very important that I go into his hip because when Dennis turns all the way and I get from this roll, he's going to want to come to his knees, he's going to want to turn, and I want to be able to use this to get my angle very, very fast. So we're inside. I had my grip, step, stomp, I come over here. Now look, as I roll, my foot goes on the hip. That's what we want. I'm pulling this leg across. Now, Dennis's head is looking straight towards me. When I pull my leg across his back, I want it to be very close. I want him to be looking in the other direction. When he comes up, I pull across. This is super tight. Now, we're always taught, obviously, to lock our triangle, and then traditionally, obviously, I want to pull his arm across, but it's already super, super tight here. I want to make sure that I just lock and I can just squeeze and finish. One more time. A little bit this way. Good. So once again, side control. Dennis is doing everything that he's been taught to do. It's still not going to work. Smash down, get this lapel. All the slack comes out, up over towards my face, feed it to my other hand. I'm going to pull my elbow in to load him up onto my thigh. Free hand's going to come out, grab the inside knee. I'm not going to go towards his knee. I'm going to pull it towards me and then staple it down. Make him have his hips turned all the way. Shift all my weight over his head. My leg is free now. It's light to step over. You can heel to all the way. Once I can grab my shin, I grab it. Look, I roll my elbow. I'm going to create that pressure on his neck. Very uncomfortable. I'm going to roll over my shoulder. My left foot behind his back is going into his hip. I'm catching this space here. Look, I don't want to be here, right? So I'm using this foot and the hip to create that angle there. That's what I want. That's why it's going to be super tight. I can feel that pressure already. I lock, flex my insteps. The tap's going to be there. So we have to remember, we're obviously going to be in this situation because we got a pass or whatever happened in this situation. Maybe I went for a submission, but I ended up inside control anyway, okay? So we want to make sure that Dennis is doing everything that he knows to do. He has no other reactions. He's doing everything that he's been taught. He doesn't understand why he's here. He doesn't understand why he can't get out. He's framing. He's trying to get away. It's not going to work. If we use the right grips and we control his hips the way that we will, he's just going to be sitting there. There's no defense to this. The best way for him to just get out is to tap. We'll be able to get the win, and we can walk off the mat.